Hello and welcome. It's time to set up my October book. So I'm going to change some things, and I bought this random artist's sketchbook. And the first thing I always do is to remove the a bookmark because I don't like them and I don't use them. And then I'm putting post-its all over the place to just plan things out ahead of time so I don't do the wrong thing on the wrong page or anything. So here on the inside of the cover, I'm putting post-its that say paint and cut the pocket that goes there. And then my October cover page and my October calendar spread, which I'm going to glue onto that page. Then I'm putting my weeklies, or placeholders for my weeklies, my Dutch Store weeklies in my monthly booklet that seems to have become a staple. I change a lot of things up, but this seems to be here to stay, so I'm very pleased. So I'm putting the numbers of the weeks, and I started with week 40. I've since decided to start my October book week 39 because that's a week when October starts on Friday, and I just want to be in this book when October starts, so I will just change books 1 week earlier than I thought. So I will later count out another page or spread for my Dutch stores and start on week 39. But for the moment, I'm just putting 40 to 43, I think. So I guess it's not very exciting to watch me put post-its instead of, actually doing anything. But I think perhaps, it helps to see how I count out the pages. So that's why I recorded it. So after the weeks, I have my next action spreads. So I'm just putting post-its for those as well. And I'm going to reduce the number of next action contexts to 4 for work instead of 5 because I never use the IQ list. I'm going to have that separate and not time specific. And when I started planning this book, I thought I would insert like 10 pages for project spreads here after the monthly booklet, the same way I did, for August and September. But I think I'm going to put all my project spreads in another book. I'll show you later in this video. But the pages I counted out for project spreads and left blank, I think either I'm going to paint backgrounds on them as well, because that's what I'm going to do now for the journaling part of the book, or I'm going to leave them blank for sketching because I might start a sketching course soon, so I might want to use those pages for that. So I'm just going to postpone my decision on that. So I'm adding a few different colors here on a plastic bag. There's yellow and orange, different hues. And I spray it with water and then I press it down onto the page to create backgrounds. And of course, these colors for me represent October for different reasons, mainly autumn and leaves turning yellow and red. But with time, I've also become, influenced by imported holidays. So yes, I do think about Halloween. I don't celebrate it. We do put a pumpkin out, and I like Gothic clothes, but all year round. So it doesn't have to be in October, but I like the colors. So why not incorporate that? And now I'm going to do the same thing at the front of the book where the pocket goes. So I'm just removing the post-its I just put there and repeating the process with the plastic bag, the markers, the spray of water and, just pressing down and making pretty backgrounds. And here I've painted the next spread as well. And I'm going to cut the pocket. And at first I made a diagonal pocket because that's what I usually do. But then I decided that it just looked better or fit better with a square pocket, I guess. So I remove this flap and then I'm going to glue it down so that the pocket sticks. Just using regular tacky glue for that. And I am going to add more color to this spread and decorate it later. And in the meantime, I am just painting more pages, same way with a plastic bag. This time I'm using black and purple, I think. Do I use purple? No, only black. Okay. So this diluted black makes for like a dark, cloudy sky or something. And there's a purple. I did use purple. So I'm using the same technique as I did for my August and September journaling sections, but I'm going for a much more dramatic effect for October with darker, more vibrant colors. And now for the back of the book, because I use, I tape two books together and then have room for 3 inserts in the middle. And here I'm using an old Leuchtturm cover that I've gutted and a random cheap notebook that I have to cut down. It's already cut down once, but it's a little bit too big for the LT cover, so I'm just removing the excess with a craft knife. So if you want to try this, you just cut through all the layers and it becomes really messy and the pages turn out kind of frayed. So, if you don't like that, don't do this, or be better at using a craft knife, I don't know, but I don't care. And I'm going to cover the edges with washi tape anyway, I think, so it doesn't matter. So that's all done, and now I'm going to glue the whole thing into the cover. So I'm just using a glue stick for this. I put glue on the inside cover of the old Leuchtturm, and then I press down the front page of the the other notebook and press down. And in the back I wanted to remove the pocket because otherwise when you glue the page down it doesn't stick to the cover because there's a pocket which is it opens when you handle the book, so you have to remove this unless you don't mind that, but I think you would mind, so I do, so I'm removing it. And then same thing again, you cover the inside cover with glue and press down. And be careful to actually cover the inside cover the whole way in, towards the spine, because if you don't cover that bit with glue, the book tends to, if the paper doesn't stick, it sort of flops around because it's not properly attached at the back, so it's really irritating. So just be careful if you do this. And after that, since I removed the pocket that was on the inside of the cover, I am making my own because pockets are good. So I'm just gluing, I'm doing the diagonal thing this time and gluing down the edges to make a pocket. And then I decided to do the same thing in the front. And remember, this is the second book. So the other book, the front book, as it were, the one that's going to be at the front of the whole planner/journal, had a square pocket. But here I'm using diagonal pockets, both in the front and the back. So this is a book that's going to be at the back of the whole thing. And between the two books, the front book and the back book, I'm going to have at least one insert. So I need to add elastics to the middle so I can hang the inserts from them. And I'm going to tape the books together and leave room for those inserts in the middle. So I'm just checking to see what thickness I want, and 2 inserts are the perfect thickness for me. So for this I'm using black gaffer tape, which is perfect since the cover is black. I don't think I was going to use fabric of some kind and embellish it, but I'm not sure if I need that because this looks like a regular spine when it's done. So I'm just wrapping it around the back there and attaching it to the back book and removing the inserts that actually stick to the tape because it's really powerful, strong glue. So now we have 2 books that are attached to each other with a gap in between where the tape is, it's sort of, it's a sticky part of the tape that you can see now between the books. So we have to cover that, otherwise, it'll drive us mad. So I'm checking my box of elastics to see which one I want to use. And I choose this white one because I like the thickness of it. And here I'm checking to see how much of it I'll need. So, this is always hard, I think, to know how much you need to make it sort of taut, but not too taut when you tie it and put it around the spine. But, I think you just have to learn what it feels like in your fingers. I don't know how to advise you on that, the length you need. So I'm just tying circles. I'm tying them like this, and I'm going to cover them up with tape. And I did this probably, this process is too complicated. I cut a bit of cardboard. I've already cut it here, and I'm covering it up with more black tape and cutting it to size. So this is just a piece of cardboard with black tape on both sides. And I'm going to put the tape around that. But the thing is that the cardboard is not very thick, so when I put the elastics around it, it bends. Which doesn't matter because, I will fix it in the mix, but it looks weird as I'm doing it. And since the cardboard is so thin, actually I think you'd call it cardstock, I'm adding another piece of it just to reinforce it. So I'm just eyeballing it as usual, cutting that out. And then I add another piece of tape. And first, this is the piece of tape. I put the bit of spine with the elastics on it onto the tape. So now one side is covered, so you can't see the elastics on one side. And I add the new piece onto that side to reinforce it. So another piece of tape, because I don't want it to be white. And no, this time I'm using 2 pieces of tape because this is going to go around both books, and I want it to be, I want it to hold. So just now in this video you saw me tape the 2 books together, but now I'm doing it again with more tape. So sorry about that, but it is a process, and I realized that I wanted to do it this way. So yes, now we're finally in the final stages of this part. I use the inserts, I put them between the books to make sure that there's the gap. So there, all done. The tape is wrapped around both books and covers the back of the elastics. And now I'm just putting the insert in to see if it fits, and it does. And I'm cutting off some excess tape because, I don't measure anything, so I have to, as I said, fix it in the mix.
Here we are with a half-finished book for October. This book in the back is a bit wonky. You can see that I probably cut it badly. It's not straight at all, but it does fit the cover, so I don't know. I guess it's okay. And you can see there are kind of fronds on the pages, on the edges here. They're not straight at all. Very raggedy. But, I'm going to use it, so it's going to get banged up anyway. I just put reminders for myself, like the post-its I put in the other book. November calendar, December calendar, and so on. All the calendars until February that I'm going to glue in here from the other book, the current one. Then project spreads. I'm going to add my work projects, and that will use up 24 pages. Then I'm going to put my possible next actions that are currently in an insert, so I'm going to show you. So I had a short-lived love affair with these inserts for project spreads and next actions, and I do love these pages. It's just that all these inserts make for such a thick book. It's a problem, and I'm not even traveling yet. We're going back to the office in a month or so, and I'm going to start lugging things around again several hours a day, and this kind of thickness is just, I don't know. So I was thinking the things I am currently putting in these inserts, my next actions for home and for work, will go into this back book. And I'm sighing because I'm not sure. I might change my mind before I start using this book, or when I start using it. But the plan is to have calendars, project spreads for work, next action spreads, possible next actions, not time specific ones, those go in the monthly booklets. Then home projects and home next actions, and finally a few pages for sketching. In the current book I have my world building insert in the back, which I thought was a really great idea until I realized that I don't use it that much, and I don't like feeling like I have to use it more than I do. So I guess that was a bad idea and I'm ditching it. So I think the ideas I already have, I will either just leave as they are in this book, because I will remember that I have writing stuff here, because this tab tells me that it's writing stuff. So I have this kind of tab in all my old books. Like, for example, my April book. Look, there is the writing tab. So, look, here are writing ideas. And here are some other ones, and here, and here, and here, and here. So, it's not a problem to leave it there. Or I might archive it, I'm not sure. But I'm not going to do that experiment again. I did use it for, a couple of mornings I wrote snippets, and I was pleased with that, but it won't become a habit. Not right now. So, yeah, ditching that. But I do need this kind of sturdy back book. So that's why I'm repeating that, because it worked. So book in the front, book in the back, but this time this book will be for projects and next actions and the calendar. So what this means is that the front book is only designed to last for a month. So this is the October book, my daily planning and my journaling. And the back book is designed to keep for 6 months. So I have the calendar spreads for 6 months and projects for 6 months. And the middle insert, you know, the someday maybe insert, is long-term planning. So that will follow me throughout my systems, or setups rather. And I added this because I think I need somewhere to just jot down random stuff. I don't like using up pretty paper like this for, you know, meeting notes and stuff like that. So I bought this out of date. Is that the word? You know, it's for 2019 and 20. So, and now it's 2021. So I bought it when it was already old and not current. But I mean, there's still room to write stuff in it. So I'm just planning to use it for scribbles that I will then process and put somewhere. You know, the important stuff will get transferred somewhere. So what I have left to do to my October book is to just pretty this up a bit. Put in the calendar, which is currently taped into this insert in my current planner. So this is October. And I'll just rip it out and glue it onto here. And the rest of the calendar spreads will go in the back book, as I said, November and so on. Then I will cut the weeklies. Actually, this one I will just fold like this, and the rest of them I will cut so that I can see my weekly boxes. And then I'm going to add like pretty borders and bookmarks and pictures to make these journaling pages as inviting as I possibly can, because that's my morning routine, to sit and journal instead of scrolling on my phone. So I really need to make my planner / journal attractive, and you know, it has to eclipse my phone basically. So that's why I do all this. And it's nice to have afterwards like these filled up pages that document my life. All right, I'll be back.